Right, good morning, welcome back. Now, thank you first of all for your wonderful comments and support of the Bonneville series. It was a straightforward remit, half a dozen videos, to do basically three things. To take a standard T120 Bonneville, shed a load of weight off it, sharpen up the handling and personalize it a little bit at the same time. And I think we did that, ticked all the boxes, and now it is a wonderful, wonderful bike to ride. So we will bring it back in, we will do some more on it in the future. But for now, we're back on the TT Legend, the long-term project. Let's see what's next. Right, okay, 4 major jobs so far on this project. We've jacked the back suspension up. We've changed the rear mudguard from being a big long cruiser mudguard to a little short desert sled looking thing. We put rear sets on it to get the rider's feet underneath your body, and I've made that rather glorious 3-into-1 exhaust. So we've brought it from a cruiser bike into more desert sled. And that was the remit. So we've done that. That structural stuff is done and I'm really happy with it. I wanted to get it out the way early because that's the hard work. Now there's just renovation, painting and putting it together. Renovation starts with the front end. It is a right old mess. The forks are all nasty and corroded, but there's more immediate things than that. That's just finishes we'll deal with later. It's got a leaking fork seal, pouring oil down the back of the fork leg. That's a right old mess. We've got to deal with all the other bearings as well. Wheel bearings, headstock bearings. They're going to be original. This bike is 15,000 miles, but 20 years old. That's a dangerous combination because what it means is the stuff hasn't worn out. 15,000 miles, you're going to wear your brake pads out. They're okay. They're probably original. They're 20 years old, those brake pads. So you can't keep them. We're going to chuck them out, put some new ones in. Probably going to rebuild the caliper at the same time because that's worth doing. And then the wheel bearings and all that other stuff as well. Plus, of course, the front wheel is in a right old mess. It's rusted up. So this front end, it's going to hold a world of fun and games for the next few videos. But I can't do any of it till I can get it off and see what joy awaits us underneath. I know it's going to be a mess. So let's get it stripped.
As we drive
All right, if you're going to paint the top yoke, which I am, and the bottom yoke, then it's convenient to take the ignition lock off. But you can't just unbolt them. They've got headless stainless screws in there that are thread locked in, and the heads are just a dome, and they sit in a fragile little casing. The only way to get them out is to take the yoke off, turn it upside down and machine them out with a mill. Then you get the heads off, take them out properly, then you have to have the threads recut, and then you have to put a new one on. That's a proper way to do it with proper screws. If I'm buying a bike, one of the things I look at is whether those screws have been butchered or machined out or replaced. If they're not, and they're original, as these are, and the lock itself is in perfect condition, which this one is, then leave it alone. Just for your convenience, taking that off for painting, it's not a good enough reason. It's an integrity thing when you come to sell the bike. If that's all original and immaculate and untouched, it shows that your bike has not been stolen, recovered, or re-identified as another bike. That's the original lock. It matches the seat, the fuel tank and everything else. So for convenience, don't take your lock out unless you really need to. Just mask it up and work around it. But I think you know that. It's quite obvious really, isn't it? Common sense. Okay, what a well-kept bike, and everything came apart nicely and no thread snapped off or sheared, none of the bolts sheared off or rounded. Fantastic, really happy, what a successful day. I've got to order a set of headstock bearings and some wheel bearings for both wheels. I'm also going to order some fork seals and some fork bushes and some brake pads and some seal kits for masters and the caliper, so we'll refurb the whole lot before we put it all back together.